Do you like how short Michael Jordan's shorts are?
Oh, yeah.
What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Sports Card Aesthetic, where we look at cards and talk about how pretty
Or not pretty.
they are. I'm Tyson, sports card enthusiast.
And I'm Emma, sports card unenthusiast.
And let's look at some cardboard. This card is probably the most famous basketball card in the history of basketball sports cards. Some would argue the most famous sports card in the history of all sports card. I wouldn't quite argue that. But it is the 1986 Fleer Michael Jordan.
Fleer?
Fleer.
What's
This
that
is a
mean?
different card company. So we had Topps in the first one.
So does
Fleer.
Topps just do baseball?
That's a complicated question. We'll get to that another day. No more questions.
I think it was a yes or no question.
No more questions.
It was literally a yes or no question.
What was the question?
Does Topps just do baseball?
No, Topps has a history of doing many different sports. In fact, Topps has done basketball in the past. 1986 Fleer Michael Jordan. This is a absolutely iconic card of the greatest basketball player of all time, in my opinion. We're gonna get you have not seen this card.
I have not
You
seen
have no idea what we're talking about.
I don't know what's going on.
All right. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
This is Emma's first impression. Boom. So just waft in it.
What?
Mind meld with this card.
I'm supposed to become the card? Am I supposed to be reading what Michael Jordan's thoughts are?
Sports card transfiguration.
Transfigurement.
Okay, you're not.
Okay, well, let's just start with the basics.
Yeah, let's get your basic first impression.
So this is
Michael Jordan.
We are getting an action shot mid-play with fans in the stadium.
That is
in this photo.
Yeah,
we get the full jersey. We get him doing his thing.
So definitely, this is an action shot. This is an action shot in mid-game. Clearly, this is not staged at whatsoever. You've got fans in the background there.
Now, is it unusual for a card to say the position he's playing?
I wouldn't say that's unusual. No.
Okay, so we have his name. We don't have a signature.
What is interesting is that they call him a guard forward, which is sort of two different positions. Of course, now in modern basketball, it's sort of positionless, but that is kind of interesting that they have not just his position, but they've said, well, he's kind of a guard and he's kind of a forward.
Basketball is positionless now?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
There are no positions in basketball?
There are no more positions.
Really?
They've been taken away.
Really?
Okay, we're not here to talk about the positions in basketball. So what do you think about this card aesthetically?
I'm wondering if he made that dunk. Because it almost looks like he's going to come up short.
That is the key question. Michael Jordan doesn't come up short, first of all. I can almost promise you he made that dunk.
So I like that the picture looks like what you'd be watching on TV in the 80s. Like it looks very candid.
So you're saying
it's obviously an action shot, but even just the way that it's snapped, it looks of the time to me. It looks
of its age. It's not a high definition photo.
No, it's a little bit blurry.
It looks like a vintage basketball card from the 80s. So would you say this looks like the 80s?
What do the 80s look like?
Well, I don't know. You tell me.
I mean, this looks old to me. I like I think it does. To me, it looks like you're watching a TV, especially because of the yellow border with the rounded corners. It looks like an old, just a tube, an old-fashioned tube.
Yeah, it does kind of look like a TV on its side.
And there's something, that there's this other player whose head is right at his crotch is really kind of a weird position.
I have thoughts about that as well.
They didn't edit that out. I mean, they still use that as the image. If somebody else's arm is in here, so it compositionally that makes it a little odd because there's kind of there's somebody else's arm with the same bracelet on. Do they wear bracelets?
It's probably tape to support the wrist.
And that's really in the foreground. So
Michael Jordan and his teammate have the same bracelet.
Oh my god! So they're wearing friendship bracelets.
get it together.
Okay.
I want to comment because
I was going to finish saying this about,
okay.
about the guy's arm and the other guy's head in his crotch. Mm-hmm. It is weird, and it's strange that they chose that shot of all of the things that they probably have gotten of all the pictures they've gotten of Michael Jordan shooting baskets. Like, they chose that one, but it does sort of create a sense of depth. It makes it feel like
you've got 3 different layers.
Not only are you sort of
4 if you could include the fans,
right, watching it on TV, but you're also positioned at a place where you're really like courtside, and you're looking through the other players to see him kind of rising up from behind them in the background with the fans in the background. So it is sort of like, it is a good kind of star moment for him, I guess.
I want to talk about one of my biggest pet peeves with this, and you've already mentioned it, which is the foreground defensive player in Michael Jordan's crotch. This.
Do we know who that is?
I'm sure sports card people probably know who that is. I think they probably even know what game this came from, but it does bother me compositionally that it is blocking Michael Jordan like his full figure, like
they're perfectly aligned.
The full Adonis figure there is being blocked when what you really want is for that guy to be in front of him trying to block him. That would make this card absolutely perfect. You see what I'm saying? If you put this guy in this space right there.
Yeah. Well,
because also you got a big blob of crowd there that doesn't need to be that.
Well,
that big a part of the card.
The odd thing about this as an action shot too is, I would think that like you say, a more impressive, feat for him would be if he's dunking like mid block. But it looks like that guy on the ground is just standing there like
just
watching
waiting to get
him.
dunked on.
Like everybody's just like, wow, like, look at him go.
The defense has ended.
Yeah.
I will say Michael Jordan himself looks, I think, fantastic in this photo. Mm-hmm. You've got the full extension of the arm. He's going up for the dunk. You've got the full curse of Chicago.
That is very, very.
You've got the iconic number 23. You've got a big splotch of red there.
I like the Red Bulls,
which jumps out from the sort of dark of the crowd. I really want that defender to be 3 inches to the left. Well, on my computer it's going 3 inches to the left. On the card, probably like a half a centimeter to the left, and then facing him. Then you would really have a perfect image. I like the foreground. I have never noticed this about that card until you said about the friendship bracelet, the forearm in the foreground, the blurred. I love that. I think that gives it the most depth.
Yeah, because it's blurry, so you can tell the focus is on.
It makes the card
Jordan.
3-dimensional.
Yeah.
It does give really, really good depth there. And I like that. I'm pretty sure Michael Jordan has his tongue out, which I don't know if you know this, but that was one of his signatures. Was to when he was dunking to have the tongue out.
Okay.
So I think we agree. We like the pose of the player. We like the action shot, right? Mm-hmm. Also, do you know the Air Jordan logo?
It's kind of like that, isn't it?
This thing. It's cool that they picked an image that is almost like the logo that he's most famous for. Okay, so what do you think about the composition of this card? Not just the image, but the other colors, the border, how it's all situated. You kind of mentioned, which I like that comment, was it kind of almost looks like a TV with the yellow. What do you think about the other colors?
The red, white, and blue?
The border of the red, white, and blue. And actually there's a 4th color in this, a 5th color.
The light blue?
Which I like. The light blue.
Under his name.
Yes. So tell me about what you think about kind of the bordering.
It looks like the TV tube that he's on is sitting on a kind of a mat. And I don't know why.
Placemat?
Yeah, I guess I don't know why. That doesn't seem to have any.
Russian flag, isn't that the?
Well, America is red, white, and blue.
Doesn't the Russia have kind of similar colors? All of a sudden, I'm blanking on what the Russia.
I think Russia is red, white, and blue.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Makes that. But I like it that it's red, white, and blue, but doesn't look Americana-y.
It doesn't. It almost looks Mexican or something.
It's got. Is that because I don't know why that
green
is.
on it, though, I think.
Yeah, I'm not sure why. Even though this is red, I think it's just because the red dominates so much that it doesn't look super American-y.
Well, it is interesting that the way that it's not red, white, and blue. It's red, blue, and white.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah.
So the
maybe
white,
the mixture of the colors.
So the white part of the background is behind most of his body, and that's kind of the most neutral.
Yeah.
And so the red buffers or frames the top and the bottom, and then that's what echoes the red on his jersey in the middle. So it's kind of framed symmetrically, which I think kind of works.
I like the curvature of the TV frame.
Yeah, I definitely like that.
And I think when I was talking about like, does this look 80s? It's the border that makes it look like the 80s to me. And maybe I can't go into greater detail why I think that, but it just looks like that to me. I love the light blue of this card.
Why?
I like that it's different. I like that it pops. And then I know that maybe this is just a personal thing, but Michael Jordan played for the North Carolina Tar Heels, and their color is that baby blue.
Oh, so this is a callback to that?
It's not a callback, but I like to think of it as a callback.
So it is in your mind?
It is in my mind. When I look at this card, I think, oh, there's like it's not just a Michael Jordan card. It's like he's getting the Bulls, but he's got his North Carolina blue in the bottom there too. I personally like that. This card has another feature on it. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Well, it has the brand name.
It has the brand name
of
on
the
it.
Card on it.
Fleer Premier. What do you think about that? Or do you care?
I don't care for it.
Why not?
I don't know what it means. I don't know what Premier means.
I think that's just a generic. That might be some sort of subcategory, but it's probably just them trying to brand themselves as a fancy sports card. I like the label actually. I think it's got a little bit of pop, but it's not too intrusive. And actually, I think it helps balance the weight of the composition of the image.
It does. I think if it didn't have anything there,
it would look a little weird.
It would be I think it would feel like an unfinished card because it doesn't have, there's no Bulls logo anywhere other than the Chicago. And at the bottom, the Bulls are very, I mean, you almost miss that. So it's funny to me that the team seems so.
And it's just like it's a black void up there.
Yeah.
I think it actually balances the card really well.
But to me, it's very prominent. Like this card is really like showing like card brand as a main feature of the look of the card.
Well, it's capitalism 80s.
And
it makes sense.
It has almost equal weight to the basketball, to the size of Michael Jordan's head and his top hat, to his name, to like it competes with all of the. I mean, nothing else is bigger than and more prominent than the Fleer in the corner. Which I don't know how I feel about that.
A couple of other cards I wanted to show you. So this is a card that the second card I'm going to show you is heavily mass produced. There's billions and billions of these cards, so they're not worth anything hardly. But I have always loved this card, and it's the 1990 Fleer Michael Jordan. Take a look at that one.
Looks like he's gonna lick the net.
That's why he was the greatest.
Like he looked like he just like leapfrogged over those two guys behind him, and he's trying to eat the net.
So, what do you think about this card, other than Michael Jordan eating the net?
It looks insane.
That's what I like about this card. This card reminds me. This is a violent basketball card. This is a card where you get Michael Jordan just. You said you wanted an actual dunk. You got it in this card.
He is making it.
This is an actual dunk.
Although we don't know for sure who is dunking it in this one because his hand is not visible. Somebody else could be dropping that from the top.
So we got a conspiracy theory on our hands. Okay. I really like this card. It's not worth anything. But another thing about this card that I find interesting that you just don't get a whole lot of is dunks with the camera right under the basket. Like this is a photographer standing like 4 feet from Michael Jordan when he dunks this basketball. I don't personally like the border. I like the border of the 86 Fleer better. What do you think about that?
What year is this?
This is 90. This is more in his superstar prime. Well, he was already a superstar in 86.
It's got that teal blue you like so much.
Yeah, but it's not. I don't know. It's not used as effectively to me.
One thing I don't like about this one is the font and formatting of the Michael Jordan. It makes it look like an AMC or like a Taco Bell or something. Like it looks like a restaurant or some kind of.
You're right. It does.
I don't
it looks like the sign on a restaurant.
Yeah.
Or maybe a movie theater.
A movie theater.
Yeah, you're right. It does. You said AMC. I thought you meant the TV channel.
It's sort of like there's a movie called Jordan that's going to be playing at the Michael Gard Theater.
Well, at least they've decided what position he plays on this card. You're absolutely right. It does have the Bulls logo up here in the top left, although I don't like the way it's situated. it needs to be down a little bit.
It's hanging on. It's like it was pinned to the top bar of the border.
It's like a light fixture up there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
and it kind of actually is the same shape as the basket, so it's just kind of these two things hanging down.
You're right. You're right. It does. It's got a bad symmetry to it.
A bad symmetry.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Not an asymmetry.
No. It's a bad. No, it's symmetrical, but it's bad. Okay, the third card I want to show you.
It's kind of like riding the like a pommel horse.
Okay, you've ruined this card for me at this point.
It's like he's riding a mechanical bull.
I used to love this card, and now I can't stop watching Michael Jordan eating a net and riding a Taco Bell.
Riding like a mechanical bull.
Okay, third card I want to show you is a promotional card from Nike in 1985. So this predates his 86 Fleer card. So it's not technically a sports card in the traditional sense, but it does often get lumped in along.
How is it not a sports card?
Because it's not made by a sports card brand. It's a promotional Nike thing.
Oh, I see.
And it's much bigger than a sports card, even though we do slab these things. Okay, you ready?
Sports poster board?
It's almost like a mini poster in a way. Okay, here we go. What do you think of that? 1985 Nike promo.
And these are also traded like sports cards in the same kind of.
Yeah,
way?
You can buy and sell these, at a sports card, convention or whatever.
Well, so this is the Jordan pose.
This is the classic Jordan, what we call Air Jordan.
And he's wearing his shoes, it looks like.
And he's wearing his shoes, yeah. I believe those are the Jordan 1s. I'm not a big shoe buff, but...
You don't have yours on?
No. What do you think about that card?
Well, I don't really know what's up in the left-hand corner there.
That says Air Jordan, and it's like the original Air Jordan logo.
Looks kind of
I've got a blurry version of it here,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So on the real card, you could probably see
that's
that
clear.
there. Yes,
but it is small. I mean,
it is small.
It's high. It looks like a flying saucer. Oh, we have Chicago. With the Sears Tower down there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, and you got the Nike logo on the bottom.
It does look like he's like Air Jordaning over Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
So at sunset, at dusk, at twilight, which is a little strange. It seems like and the basket is really, really high.
Well, I just noticed this. I don't like the basket because it clearly looks like it was photoshopped onto there. This does not. I could be wrong, but the way he's aimed does not look like this was a shot where the background was put in. It looks like it kind of looks like a little bit like old computery where they're kind of just plopping cutout elements onto each other, which I don't love that.
Yeah, I mean there are two things that are just incredibly stupid about this picture.
Okay.
One is the ball does look like it's a cardboard cutout just put in.
He might have actually been holding the ball.
Well, he might have. It just looks weird. But then there's the shadow on the obvious just poster that he's leaping in front of. This is not a real
Well, I don't know. I mean, that shadow could have been...
You don't cast a shadow on the night sky.
So you think that Michael Jordan jumped in front of a poster of Chicago, and that's how they took the shot, and then they overlaid the basket on. You could be right. I guess I don't know.
The basket might be there, but you can tell that he's not actually jumping outside. He's in some kind of studio, and there's the wall is this picture.
You could be right.
You have the shadow of his hand is being cast on the wall. It's a wall.
Unless you're right.
It's a wall. It's not the outside.
I think you're right.
You can see it a little bit at his foot too.
Probably a card historian knows the history of how this was created. What do you think about just his clothing in this photo?
It's weird that he's wearing pants. Did they ever wear basketball pants?
These are probably what I would call warm-ups.
Oh.
So actually they do. This would be more of a practice outfit.
So like a t-shirt under a couple of tank tops?
Yeah. This definitely is more of an 80s practice warm-up. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I do love this card. Now that I look at it, I don't love the basketball hoop looking so fake. And I didn't even think about that maybe he was jumping in front of a poster board, which doesn't ruin it for me. I like that there's Chicago in this photo. I think that's cool, him jumping over Chicago, having the Sears Tower there. I think that's cool. So I'm a little bit down now that we've talked about it, but I still really like this card.
See, to me, this is the shadow on the wall and how fake it looks is
that ruins it for you.
Very displeasing. I think this is chintzy looking card.
It just looks kind of fake all the way around.
Yeah, and the only thing I like about it is just the concept and the shape of the position of his body and the concept over Chicago. That to me, that's the only thing it has going for it.
Yeah. Now that I take a closer look, I might agree with you. Okay, let's go back to the '86 Fleer, which is the primary one we're looking at. And Emma, how many pretties do you give the 1986 Fleer Michael Jordan?
Am I only rating this one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because now I like this a lot better than the last one we looked at.
Okay, good. Well,
I'm calibrating.
Okay, calibrate.
How many pretties?
How many pretties? From 1 to 100.
This is a weird one for me because there's things about it that I really, really like.
Mm-hmm.
I like how weird it is.
Okay.
I love the depth of it.
Mm-hmm.
I like how it's perfect. It's not symmetrical.
Mm-hmm.
It's also kind of awkward.
You got that guy right in the Jordan
awkward.
Crotch area, isn't it? Yeah, it kind of. It really imbalances it incorrectly.
Yeah, is this a like perfect? Is it so awkward? It's just perfect, or is it just kind of off? I can't.
Well, you should factor that into your pretty rating.
I know. I think having a guy's head.
People are waiting.
I think having a guy's head in his crotch takes away from the picture aesthetically a bit.
It gets some points taken away. Okay.
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna give this 82 pretties.
Ooh, that was higher than I thought you were gonna go. 82 pretties for the 1986 Fleer Michael Jordan, most iconic basketball card of all time. Don't know why I did a head bob there. Thanks, guys. Like, subscribe. Please comment. We want to hear what you think about this card. Give us other ideas for other cards. We're excited to talk about what cards look like or the aesthetic of cards. And we'll catch you on the flip side. What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Sports Card Aesthetic, where we talk about cards and talk about, oh my god. Why am I so bad at this?